Good morning, SnowWest. This is Christopher, your friendly forum admin from snowwest.com. And you have just stumbled across Season 2, Episode 1 of SnowWest Forums on the mountain in the snow. As you can guess, I'm a little behind the curve. The last week or two has been crazy busy, but today is the first day I'm finally getting out and on a chance to go for a ride, and I wanted to bring you guys along. For those of you that have never watched any of my winter videos, I want to give you a little background. As I said, I'm Christopher. I run these forums, the discussion chat room on snowwest.com for the SnowWest magazine. And we have a YouTube channel, a Facebook channel. You'll find us probably on Instagram and TikTok as the year goes by. We cover the area known as the Island Park Caldera, which is a fairly large area. Primarily, that's West Yellowstone and Island Park, but it also goes north. We'll cover a little Cook City. We go south down to Driggs, to Alpine, and we go over to Togety as well. That greater area is the general riding area that I like to hang out in, and I'll do these little videos there. My goal with these videos is to keep you abreast of what's going on in the snowmobiling community, but especially to cut through all the BS and all the nonsense and show you exactly what the snow is like up on the mountain. As we take off on our, I try to do at least twice a week, maybe 3 times a week adventures. I will go out of my way to show you what the truth is, to show you the actual snow, the actual conditions, cut through some of the marketing and the advertising hype that you might get if you're thinking about coming out here and enjoying our beautiful corner of the woods. Today I am down here in, where am I? Big Springs Warming Hut. Oh my gosh, sometimes, yeah, you get old, the memory just doesn't work the way it's supposed to. Big Springs Warming Hut in Island Park. We're going to go do a big loop today. We're going to head out on Fish Creek. We'll take Fish Creek over to Black Canyon. We'll run up and do the entire length of Black Canyon. We'll dip off Black Canyon a couple of times if the snow allows, and we'll take a look at the conditions up there. Then we'll dip over into Montana. We'll go to Mosquito Flats, probably then run up on top of Two Tops. We'll take a look around there, maybe come down, hop over to Lion's Head if the snow's good enough to let us get across the highway and go check that out. Then we'll come back to Henry's Flats, look around there, and we'll close out today in Big Springs itself, more or less back where I am right now. It is a gorgeous day. If there were 3 or 4 more feet of fresh snow, this would be an absolutely ideal day of riding. It is partly cloudy. It's probably 30-ish degrees, I would guess right now. We get up on the mountain, we'll take out some of the devices I picked up over the summer, and we'll get real wind readings, real temperature readings, get a better sense of what's going on. But I invite you to come along for the journey. This is going to be a weekly. Hopefully we'll do it twice a week all winter long, and encourage you guys to come out here and enjoy the beauty that is Island Park in West Yellowstone. You hear that beeping in the background? That is the first stop every single ride without exception. I'm out riding by myself today. I understand it's not going to be a super exciting day. Nobody was interested. We haven't had any huge snow in a couple of weeks, but I still have my beacon on. I still carry all my Avi gear. Pack is on, ready to go. And I always, without exception, stop by one of the beacon checkpoints before I get going. We made it to checkpoint number 1, which is trail marker number 69. We came down Fish Creek, and right here is the turnoff to Black Canyon. And we'll shoot up Black Canyon in just a second, but let me tell you about Fish Creek. So, there's enough snow to ride, but there's not an abundance of snow. I'm riding what have I got down here? Let's see if I can even get this in. A 2024 Ski-Doo Turbo Summit with 3-inch lugs on it. And I was a little worried about engine temperature. The snow is pretty well packed on the trail, and it's reasonably thin on the sides, but it was good enough to get down here. I never got above 130 miles. Never got above 130 degrees, 130 miles an hour. Oh my God, that'd be terrifying. Had to ride on the margins a little bit here and there, but overall it was fine. If you look back in the trees, you can see there's snow. There's a little bit on the trees, but not much. It is thin. We need snow. There's supposed to be the first snowstorm coming in tonight, Saturday night, and then we're going to have another week of more or less dry, and then next Saturday, the big storm finally arrives, and we should see snow possibly Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. 4, maybe 5 days if all goes well. All right, we'll turn here, head up Black Canyon. We'll get up into some altitude. We'll see what we find. All right, so we're up on top of Black Canyon now. I wanted to bring you up and give you a little panorama of just some of the spots that are off trail that I come out and haunt from time to time. Snow here is probably 22 to 24 inches deep. It's in pretty good shape. I'm sinking in. Can't be too bad, I suppose. Yeah, a little below my knees. But I can feel the rocks underneath me. I hit a couple of stumps as I was riding out here. I'm going to flip the camera around and let you guys look out in the other direction. There we go. A little better look at what the actual mountain's looking like. No snow on the trees at all yet. But you know, not horrible snow coming in. If I had friends, I could probably go out here and play and not be in any real danger of doing anything, as long as I was careful and not being overly stupid. That's looking back into Yellowstone over there. And that's looking back towards the Black Canyon Trail itself. We're at the very top of the Black Canyon area now. We're probably in the low 8,000 foot range. I didn't take out an altimeter. Maybe I will in a second. I'll go check. But boy, has the weather started to change. The bluebird skies are going away. Normally you don't smile when you see bad weather, but I'm smiling because there's some big old dark clouds up there. The wind has started to kick up. You might hear it in the background, I don't know. But there's snow coming. You can feel it in the air. You know that sudden change when you know the snow is going to be here at some point very soon. And I can hear the most beautiful sound of all, brappage. As I got up here on the top, I started seeing other riders. I've come across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys so far out riding, so I'm not alone on top of the mountain. Notice behind me, those trees, they are not completely green anymore. There's a little bit of snow on those trees, and that's also a really nice thing to see. If you look at the ground, can you guys see the hoarfrost? Maybe I'll flip the camera around just a second. All right, look at the hoarfrost out here. I'm sure you can see that there. Lots of hoarfrost. Beautiful to look at. So very pretty. But not something we like to get excited about for avalanche season. Out here in the meadows, perfectly fine. Just gorgeous sparkling diamonds. But on the steep and the deep, if that takes hold, that won't be good for us for the rest of the year. In the meantime, the snow is coming, which is nothing but good news. You can tell the immediate change in my attitude. I smile. I gotta admit, guys, I came up here and I wasn't super excited today because I know it's been a week, 10 days since we had any snow. But once I get up high and I see the snow on the trees and the snow in the fields and there's no tracks. I mean, notice this little meadow I'm in, it's completely untouched. It's just freaking virgin. It just puts an instant smile on my face and I'm immediately happy. Over the course of the summer, we picked up a lot of new subscribers. Probably had over 1 million views of our little Facebook channel for non-members. So we're getting a lot of exposure, and I picked up another 1,000 or 2. So there's going to be some folks that are watching this. And again, this is season 2, episode 1, that aren't familiar. I want to reiterate, this is a non-sponsored channel. One of the things that makes this little on the mountain in the snow thing that I do different is nobody's writing me a check. I'm not sponsored by any manufacturers. Nobody's paying me, no paid commercial product placements, none of that stuff. I do this for the pure love of the sport. Yes, I work in the industry, make no mistake about it. I would consider myself an industry professional, but I'm not being paid by anybody to come out here and do this. Does that mean that I won't talk about product from time to time? Oh, hell no. This fall, I put a new clutch on my sled. I put an Ibex clutch. Jeez, I freaking love this clutch. I had one on my old supercharged Yamaha Nitro 10 years ago. I forgot about it. I forgot how much I loved it. Put it on in the parking lot. the moment the engine engaged, you know, like 1,500 RPM, that clutch hit, and I immediately thought, what have I been doing for the last 8 years without it? So yes, I will do product endorsements, placements, where I talk to you about stuff that I'm using personally, that I'm buying, that I'm paying for with my own money. Everything I have, I buy, just so you also understand. My sled, my gear, my clothing, all the technology, the camera gear, the trailer, everything is mine. I write the check for it. Do I negotiate the best possible price? Oh, hell yes. I go to all the shops. I go to the swap meets. I go to the snow shows. I try to buy everything I can for as cheap as I can. You know, like you, money is tight. Money's precious. So I want to spend the majority of my money every winter on gas and oil, not on hardware. So I do shop. I try to get the best deals I can. I use a lot of technology. I will share some of that technology with you guys during this year. You know, I use Onyx, backcountry and off-road for their mapping systems. I use Relive to generate 3D live mapping when we ride. I've got a bunch of DJI gear. You know, what I'm holding in front of me right now, this is a 3-axis gimbal that I use to let me do these nice smooth pans that you're seeing. And I'll share all that with you over the course of the winter. But I also wanted to hit a little bit on Island Park and West Yellowstone. Again, mostly for those, if there's people watching this that haven't been here before, or you've maybe only come once 10 or 15 years ago, I want to just make sure a couple of things are clear. For all intents and purposes, Island Park and West Yellowstone are the same, at least for the purpose of me describing them. They're two small mountain towns on opposite sides of the same mountain. So if I say West Yellowstone this or Island Park that, understand, I mean the exact same thing. What makes this area so incredibly unique in North America, especially in the United States of America, is that it's one of the very few places you can go that has terrain appropriate for every single level and style of sledding. If you're a trail rider, if you're a mountain rider, if you like to go on high alpine meadows, which is what I love the most, if you like the steep and the deep, if you like hard tree riding, you know, really, really tight tree riding, or if you like spaced out open tree riding, which again is something I prefer, you're going to find that here. We've got about 100 to 120 square miles of open, unrestricted riding in Island Park and West Yellowstone. Within that, 600 miles of groomed trails and another 200 or 300 miles of ungroomed trails, and the rest is just open riding, guys. As long as you stay outside of the national park, they don't take kindly to us going in unless you're on one of those guided tours. And we'll talk about those guided tours more in time. I'm hoping, maybe, possibly, they're going to come to an end. But, you know, this is just an extraordinary place to come. I consider this my backyard. This is where I ride primarily. Yes, I'll get into Driggs and Alpine and Togedy and Cook a little bit over the course of the winter, but most of these videos you're going to see me put up twice, 3 times a week are all going to be from right up here, baby. Island Park, West Yellowstone, up in the Alpine, 8,000 feet, 9,000 feet up. I will try to find you these beautiful little places where nobody else is. The alarm on my beacon is going off, telling me that I may have not been riding long enough, so you may hear that beep in a second. Let me shut that thing off, just a second. I was wrong, it was my radio. It had sat idle for too long. With only 4 or 5 people on the mountain, nobody's hitting the channel, and the alarm was just letting me know that it's turned on. So, it's a gorgeous day, guys. Snow's coming tonight. I don't ride on Sundays as a general rule. After 15 years, I've noticed that every time I've had a bad experience, it's always been when I ditched church and I went riding. So I won't be up here tomorrow, but some of you guys will be. You might want to share what you find. By the end of next week, the real season for Island Park and West Yellowstone opens up, and people that are coming out here for vacation will start arriving. And that's when the first big storm is going to hit. Where I am right now is definitely deeper than where I was. I am solidly knee deep. I don't think I can get this gimbal to point down that low. Yeah, it just doesn't want to go down, sorry. There are some limitations on this technology. It's designed to do freight, but I'm down to my knees now. So definitely the snow is better than it was. I'll see if I can get my probe out here in a second, and I'll take a probe and get you guys an actual hard measurement. But you can look at the track from the sled. It's in pretty good shape. The snow is good, the weather is good. Once again, I'm riding by myself because I ride with a bunch of snow snobs, and none of the guys wanted to come with me today. Nobody wanted to go because they didn't think it was going to be good snow. But sure enough, you know, if you're not afraid to get off the beaten trail and go back into the trees a little bit, there's always snow to be found up here, guys. There's always good riding. No matter what you hear from anybody else bitching and moaning and complaining, trust me, I will get up here and I will show you firsthand there is good snow. Are there places that are thin? Oh yeah. You saw down at the beginning when I got off the trailer, it was ugly down there. But by 7,000 feet, it was starting to turn. By 8,000 feet, it was getting better. And back here at the very top of the ridge line, this is pretty good. I'd be happy if I had this much snow every time I came up here that was untracked. I can live with this. The trees tell you, you know, if there's snow on the trees, the weather is good. Up here in Island Park, at this altitude, we get warm all winter long. It happens. And you'll see in January, February, those trees are bright green. You know, just the wind comes up the slope and it gets warm and the trees melt. So when you see snow on the trees, you generally have a good indicator that there's going to be good riding. All right, we'll take off to our next destination. Promise you I'd give you an actual snow depth measurement. Let's see if I can zoom in on that. All right, 55, that should be centimeters, I believe. Yeah, this is a metric pole from BCA. Yeah, she's having a hard time capturing that. But 55 centimeters deep, and we're at 8,130 feet in elevation up here. And it's just freaking gorgeous. What else can I tell you? I love being up here. All right, I've got all my gear on. I'm gonna see if I can't hold this gimbal while we actually ride. I've never tried this before. Might work, it might not. And we're coming back out to the Black Canyon Trail. All right, well, we'll see how that turns out when we get back. Note to self, put gloves on. It's freaking cold with bare hands out. All right, so I'm heading up the trail to Two Tops, coming out of Mosquito Flats. Thought I'd just stop for a second to take a little panoramic video here to show you guys that, yeah, everything you're hearing is true. There's just no snow at all, man. it's just bleak. I mean, look at these trees. There's nothing to see here at all. They're green. I mean, it's probably a high fire danger at this point because there's so little snow here in West Yellowstone. But yeah, if I wasn't by myself, I'd probably be leaving the trail and dipping into those trees because that looks pretty damn good to me right now. Look at that. Come on, man. That's gorgeous. There's snow. There's always freaking snow. Don't let people tell you there isn't. Bunch of Debbie Downers, man. It's drop dead gorgeous up here, just like always. All right, let's head up to the summit. Woo, baby! It is howling up here. Headed up to the top of Two Tops, but it's nasty. That storm is coming in and the wind is just freaking howling. I'm sure you hear it in the camera. There's no microphone that's going to stop this. But headed to the destination. Look at those trees. Those are normally snow angels. They're completely bare. It is very, very thin up on the top here right now. Lots of rock still. Oh my gosh, so much damn wind. It's just howling. I don't want to take my helmet off. It's too freaking cold. All right, that's it for me for the top of the mountain. I'm going to head down now, guys. Well, made it back down. It was a good ride back. Two Tops was not fun on the top. The snow was thin, the wind was just howling, and it was cold. It was crazy cold. Don't know why. Something to do with the wind speed up there today, but that was just not fun at all. So I turned around and made the long ride back and got back here and got the sled stowed, and I'm ready to head back home and do some video editing tonight. But all in all, it was a really good first day's ride. As always, the snow's better than I expected. I met maybe 12 people on the trail today and talked with 6 of them. Came across one interesting group, 3 guys out of West Yellowstone that work for one of the rental agencies who were up there doing break-ins. So imagine having a whole fleet of brand new sleds and every one of the sleds has to go through some manner of break-in. So I'm guessing these guys are up here riding day after day after day, just putting miles on brand new sleds. But they were some really nice guys and we had a great talk. And it's fun for me to meet new people. Standing invitation, if any of you guys ever see me on the trail, and the sled says SnowWest, and I usually have bits and pieces of, I'm gonna say memorabilia, is the wrong word, paraphernalia or something that just says SnowWest. If you see me, don't hesitate to stop. You're perfectly welcome to stop, and you're not interrupting me. I like to say hi to people. I love to meet new people. Met one family with, a bunch of kids that were here from Rexburg. They were out riding, and some other guys were just, everybody today was locals. Nobody out of town, nobody visiting Island Park. But by next weekend, that will change dramatically. Next weekend, the park will really open up and the tourist season, the guest visitor season will kick in, and we'll start having lots and lots of people here. And I suspect next weekend will be very busy. God willing, that big snowstorm is gonna hold, and we're gonna get it, and we're gonna get lots of snow, and life is gonna be all kinds of fun. Once again, this is Christopher from SnowWest.com. Thank you for coming along on today's adventure. This is episode 1, season 2, on the mountain, in the snow. We'll see you guys online. Bye-bye.